Hiya! Welcome! Thank you, Jason. It is the WWE Stomping Grounds live panel show. Is what we do every time there's a WWE pay-per-view. That is, of course, tomorrow night. We're doing it, we're previewing it and predicting on a Saturday night like we are wont to do. Although last time when we did Super Showdown, we did that on a Thursday as the pay-per-view was a Friday. So I'm Jimmy Barnes, of course. This is my channel. That's how it goes. I'm joined, as always, by my co-panelists. We've got Not Suitable for Mum, Jason Clow. Hi, Jason. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right. Not too bad. How are the summertime blues?
I get the wintertime blues, but not so much of the summertime blues. Although I understand. I do get a lot of hay fever, so that's pretty annoying. Anyway, we're also joined by Rach Kappa. Hi, Rach.
Hiya.
How are you? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. And of course, we are joined yet again by Vicky, aka the Night Owl. Hiya, Vicky.
Hey, Jimmy, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I hope you're having a good weekend, Vicky.
So good. So far, so good.
So far, so good. That's all I like to hear.
Hoop crew in the house.
Yep, Hoop Crew. Yep, hashtag Hoop Crew, everybody. I say everybody. No one's in the chat yet, but that's okay because we might get some replay viewers. Yeah. What did people think of Super Showdown then? Vicky, I'll start with you. I think everyone watched Super Showdown. Vicky, if you saw it, let us know what you thought.
There was a couple of good matches,
Was there?
but it was.
I must have missed those.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember those ones. But I'm gonna say the worst match, which I kind of wasn't looking forward to, was the Goldberg and Undertaker.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, no, it was pointless. I don't even know why they brought it, But what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Rach, what did you think of Super Showdown?
I didn't like it. The only match I was really interested in was the Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin, but pretty much I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the Undertaker versus Goldberg. I thought that match wasn't needed because neither of them can wrestle very much now.
No. Like even 10 years ago, certainly 15 or 20 years ago, it would have been a great match to see. But yeah, Jason, Super Showdown, your thoughts?
Well, severe echo. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, yeah, the Taker Goldberg, it was a botch fest, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be bloody horrendous. I thought it was going to be worse than it was.
Were we watching a different event to you, Jason? Because that was an absolute trap.
Oh,
it was almost a tragedy. That
it was. But anyway, I think it's because I probably expected it. Maybe that was it.
Well, yeah, I think we all expected it to be no better than kind of crap, but it was.
I'm just looking at the matches. No, I mean, Finn versus Andreas was probably one of the best matches, to be fair.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. That was I mean, there was nothing special. I don't think there was anything that I would rate above maybe slightly better than average on that show. It was what it was, Super Showdown. It was exactly what I expected it to be. In fact, it was probably a little bit worse than what I expected it to be, simply because of how drab and awful the main event. Well, drab awful is probably an understatement.
Yeah.
God, I mean, Undertaker nearly got dropped on his head. Goldberg, he bust his head open hard way pretty much as soon as the match started. Oh God, I mean, it was worrying seeing Undertaker in that kind of shape.
Yeah.
Physical shape. still competing. I know it's a big payday, but if this isn't a wake-up call for the Undertaker, just call it quits now.
Yeah. Oh, he was. Well, both of them were absolutely disgusted with the match themselves.
Didn't
Yeah.
at one point?
Yeah, I know Goldberg apologised for it. Yeah. Hello, Los Luchas. Thank you for coming in, Los Luchas, and Inquisitive Moments as well. Very nice of you to come in.
Hello.
Yeah. So I'm not. We're not going to do any post analysis on Super Showdown. Needless to say, I think we're all in agreement that, well, some maybe more than others, but we're all in agreement that it was a show that was kind of missable. I think's the nice word for it. An utter bag of shite is probably more be inclined to call it. But
those are
on the
exact
side, it didn't finish late for us in the UK. It finished at 11 or something like that at night, which is always nice. So I guess we will have a little discussion about the Super Showdown prediction results, because this will be interesting to see how they affect our overall 2019 prediction standing. So, Jason, I believe you have those stats for us right now.
Right. Okay. Well, nothing much to speak of in the differences with the scores, although the ones where we seem to have big difference of opinion was the Roman versus Shane. Yeah, I was the only one that picked Shane. Funnily enough, I'll just say things that I note here. The Seth versus Corbin match. Only Vicky went for Corbin, and I was the only one who picked Taker to win. So, what that means is that Jimmy got 7 points. I got 8. Vicky got 6, and Rach got 7.
Nice.
And I think that's the first time I've ever won. So, I'm just looking at the overall scores for you a minute, if you bear with me. So that means that Jimmy has, just bear with me looking at the camera, so the site's not too good at the moment. Jimmy's got 6.3 score. I've got 5.6. Vicky's got 5.3, and Rach is leading the field with 6.5.
Nice. Oh, well done, Rach. So Rach is our leaderboard leader at the moment then. So well done, Rach. Did I really pick Roman Reigns for that? I thought I picked Shane, to be honest, for that. I don't know. I can't remember. I know it was only a couple of weeks ago, but
yeah.
I'm really past caring, to be honest. I'm past caring about Super Showdown, but obviously I care about the prediction results. Yeah. So
if you want to double check it, by all means, do so.
Well, I might double check it, although
if I've got it wrong, I apologise.
You know, I could end up double checking it and find that my score is worse than what it is now. So maybe if you've got it wrong, it might be a good thing for me, Jay. So I'm not going to worry. So yeah, well done, Rachel. Well done, Jace, for winning the Super Showdown predictions. Let's get on with the main order of business, which is predicting tomorrow night's Stomping Ground. Stomping Ground, the first Stomping Grounds. First of all, I just want to say what an absolutely cack name this is for a show. Stomping Ground, bloody hell. Sounds like one of those. Did there used to be a dance troupe called Stomp or something like that?
There was, yeah.
Sounds like something they ought to be at, really.
Yeah, well, they were Stomp were actually quite good.
Yeah, they're actually going to stomp out the American national anthem at the start of tomorrow's show. So yeah, Stomping Grounds is tomorrow night on the WWE Network. Rach is the one who always runs down all the matches for us. So I don't know if they've announced what the pre-show match will be yet. There's bound to be one. So, Rach, I'm just going to let you take this in whatever order that you want. So, if you could give us the first match you have written down.
I'm just going in the order that I've written down.
That's fine.
The first match I wrote down was the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus Heavy Machinery.
Oh,
Yeah, SmackDown tag team titles: Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus Otis and I forgot the other one's name. Heavy Machinery. I know Daniel Bryan and Rowan were on the pre-show for, was it Money in the Bank? That, so I wouldn't have thought this would be another pre-show match. It could be. I have no idea. The tag team scene on both Raw and SmackDown is pretty dismal right now. Just before I go to Vicky, Los Luchas is getting hot wings and pizza to me. Is that for the pay-per-view, Los Luchas? Wonderful stuff. Los Luchas is predicting Daniel Bryan and Rowan there. But Vicky, what do you reckon to this match? It's for the tag team titles on SmackDown. It is the Vegan Army, Rowan and Bryan versus Heavy Machinery. And Vegan Army isn't a real thing. I just thought of that off the
yeah. You know what? I'm gonna have to, like, right off the bat go for Daniel and Rowan. Heavy Machinery is a new tag team. And I think I've said this about new tag teams before. They don't usually let the new tag teams win right away. They usually make them work for it. Several pay-per-views, several matches before they'll give them a chance for the tag team titles. But stuff like that, right? But I really do think that Daniel Bryan and Rowan are going to win, but I have a feeling that soon these two are going to come to a head, and Rowan's going to beat the crap out of Daniel. I hope.
Okay. So Vicky, the Night Owl, has gone with the champs to retain. Rach, it's Bryan and Rowan versus Heavy Machinery. What do you reckon?
I don't know much about Heavy Machinery, but I know they won. Didn't they win the NXT tag team titles at one point?
They didn't. No. They were fairly popular in NXT. They didn't do an awful lot. They kind of, I think they won more than they lost, but they were just a sort of more of a comedy team, which is what they are now, I guess. But
yeah.
Tucker's the other guy, Otis and Tucker. I just it suddenly came to me. Yeah, sorry, Rach. Yeah, back to you.
I think Daniel Bryan and Rowan are gonna retain.
Okay.
Simple.
Fair enough. yeah, I mean, there's not an awful lot to say about any of the matches tonight. Jason, maybe you can. I know you do like to pontificate on certain things, so maybe, perhaps you can go into deep analysis, and we'll have a deep dive into this one. I'm not asking you to do that, by the way. I'm just.
To be honest with you. I think I agree with the sentiments. I think Heavy Machinery are too new, really. I think they could potentially be future tag team champs. I think they're quite entertaining. I do like Otis or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Otis. Yeah.
Yeah, he does make me chuckle. So, but whether that's a thing for long-term success, who knows? But no, I'm going to go with the consensus and go with DB and Rowan.
Okay, so it's 3 for the defending champs to retain at the moment, and I don't think I can really argue against that. Heavy Machinery, I kind of like them in NXT. They were entertaining without sort of being really anywhere near challenging sort of the other teams who were around the NXT tag title picture, like Undisputed Era and Street Profits and teams like that. But so I'm not surprised they were called up to the main roster, as they've got the 2 big guys. I think Vince McMahon likes his sort of more comic wrestlers on sort of the mid card or the undercard. I think this ought to be a fairly good match. I mean, Daniel Bryan's involved, and we know how well he can work. I don't see the Vegan Army losing the tag titles yet, not to Heavy Machinery. Anyway, it could happen. I'm not saying it's a definite, but I'm going to go with the 3 of you. I'm going to say it's going to be Daniel Bryan and Rowan. I nearly called him Eric Rowan then, but he's not been Eric for a while now, has he? Daniel Bryan and Rowan to retain. So there we are. So Rachel, our next match, please.
The next match I got written down is the Cruiserweight Championship between Tony Nese, I can never pronounce his name,
Akira Tozawa.
That's it, and Drew Gulak.
Yep, triple threat match, cruiserweight title. Sorry, just having a look at the chat a sec. Los Luchas says, since the Usos left SmackDown, the tag division is weak. Yeah, trouble is, though, the Raw tag division's pretty crap. That's been crap for a long time, though. But yeah, cruiserweight title match, triple threat. This sounds like a pre-show match, but was it at Money in the Bank or at Super Showdown? They actually made it to the main show, which was nice. Triple threat match between defending champion Tony Nese, Akira Tozawa, and Drew Gulak. I have to say, even though this is not a pay-per-view I'm looking forward to, I'm fairly excited about this match. But I'll get on to why in a little bit. We'll first go to Vicky and see what she says about this cruiserweight match.
Okay, well, I do like Tony Nese, and I think he's pretty awesome. But I really like what Tozawa's been doing. He's a tough competitor. He gives you a run for your money. Drew Gulak, I don't know. I'd like to kick his arse myself. But I think my prediction is going to be Tozawa because I really like what he's doing.
Okay. Akira Tozawa says, Vicky, what about you, Rachel? Who's your pick in this one?
Well, I don't watch 205 live, but I did enjoy their match on, I think it was Super Showdown, one of those matches. But I think Tony Nese will retain.
Okay, you're going for Nese, fair enough. Not suitable for Mum. What about you? What do you think to this triple threat?
Well, I think it's going to be a good match. I don't know about a show stealer, perhaps, but I think it's going to be one of the better ones. Trying to decide on this one, it's going to be tough because they're all, I think, worthy of having the title. You know, for all their various different contrasting styles and what have you. Oh. I'm going to go with Akira. I think he's deserving of it, and I think it's been a long time coming. I know he's had it before, hasn't he? Once before.
No, he hasn't. No,
not at all.
No, he's challenged for it. 2 or 3 times. But
I think this might be setting up with
champion yet.
It might be setting up with something with Brian Kendrick again because he's supposed to be like his mentor, isn't he?
I'm not sure because, like Rage, I've not seen 205 live in a while. And it's a shame. It's something I really ought to start watching again regularly.
Like I've only just got back into watching it myself, so
yeah. Because I always watch NXT and NXT UK.
Yeah.
I try to never miss those if I can help it. But 205, it's not because I didn't enjoy it, because I did. I just think it was another hour that I had to not do something else, and then after a while, it's like it's just a lot of wrestling to try and fit in. But so Jason, you've gone for Akira Tozawa. I'm looking forward to this match. If they were given enough time, I think this is potentially could be the best match on the show. Although if it's a pre-show match, it should still be good if it's on the pre-show. But pre-show matches, I think they're never given as much time, and it's more a sort of let's warm the crowd up than let's actually go out and put a 5-star classic on. Quite liked Tony Nese as champion. I always thought he was a better heel, really, than a face after watching him for the last few months. But I was glad to see him win the title at the WrestleMania pre-show. And Drew Gulak, I feel, is someone I like his character, and I feel he's someone who probably would be a long-running cruiserweight champion on this brand if he actually was given the title at any point. And Tozawa, I really like Tozawa. I've liked him since I first saw him in the Cruiserweight Classic, and he's come really close to winning the title on a few occasions now, but it's not happened for him. And a couple of you, and also Los Luchas in the chat, seems to be going for Tozawa. I think I'm gonna be a little bit controversial here, and I'm gonna disagree with everybody. I'm gonna say, because I think they're ready to have a heel champion again in the style of Buddy Murphy or Neville or some of the other heel cruiserweights. I think, especially as he's also made appearances on NXT recently as well, so he's kind of got that extra visibility. I'm actually going to pick Drew Gulak to become the new cruiserweight champion in this match.
Fair play.
Drew Gulak is my pick, and I'm hoping it's going to be a good match because I like all three guys, particularly Tozawa. And I really like Gulak's character, and I quite like Neat as well. So hopefully this will be a good match and one that might make this kind of drab pay-per-view actually decent on the night. So that's the cruiserweight triple threat. Rach, what's the next match?
The next match I got written down is The New Day versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yep, so New Day members, Big E, his first pay-per-view match since returning from injury, and Xavier Woods against Owens and Zayn. Vicky.
This is actually for me kind of a tough one to call because as much as I want the New Day to win and kick the crap out of Kevin and Sammy, because they're a couple of tools, I can see the two of them pulling out some kind of thing to get to win because they're sneaky, especially Sammy. So my prediction is going to be Kevin and Sammy for it because I know they're conniving little you-know-whats. And
yeah, the Canadian though, aren't they, Vicky? I thought you might sort of a home field favouritism there.
Not a chance.
Okay, fair enough. That's just me labouring under an assumption there. It's not like, if there was a British wrestler on this show, I'm trying to think if there is now. Probably not. Then that doesn't mean that me, Rach and Jason would automatically want them to win. But yeah. So Rachel, it's Owens and Zayn. It's the New Day. What do you say about that?
Yeah, I think, I agree with what Vicky just said. I think Sammy and Kevin will do something underhand to try and win this match. We know they can't really function very well as well. So I don't know. I think I'm going to go with Sammy and Kevin.
Okay.
Right. Can I just check? Sorry. What did Vicky go for?
Kevin.
In this one, it was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, I think. Wasn't it, Vicky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't write it down. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, and Rachel's gone for that as well, Jay. So now
that's all right.
Your turn to predict a winner for this one.
I don't know if really this is a match of any consequence, is it really?
I'd say that about most of the matches on this.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm wondering if they might sort of give it to New Day because of the fact that Big E's not that long come back. They give a win under his belt, but it's where are they going with this, if anywhere? I can't see any sort of long-term repercussions. That's what I try and look for sometimes, say, oh, well, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. Oh, they're going to do that, they're going to do the other. So I'm going to go New Day.
New Day for Jace. Looking in the chat, Los Luchas predicts Owen and Zayn. Hello, Super Pop Bro. Hello, Will. Thank you for coming in and joining us. We're all okay, thank you. Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. It's nice to see Big E back. I don't know. I still think that a New Day split must be round the corner at some point. But whether I don't think they'll pull the trigger at Stomping Ground. I think it's more likely to happen on SmackDown, really, or the next pay-per-view, Extreme Rules or SummerSlam. So I mean, Owens and Zayn missed Super Showdown. We won't get into the whys and wherefores, but yeah, I think most people probably know why Sami Zayn had to miss it, and then Kevin Owens was sort of supportive of Sami in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll split the difference. I'm gonna side with Jason here, and I'm gonna say New Day. But this one could really be a bit of a coin toss for me as to who'll win this. But I'll go with Jason. I'll say Xavier Woods and Big E to win it. Right, next match, please, Rachel.
The next match is the WWE United States Championship between Samoa Joe and Ricochet.
Okay, US title match. Samoa Joe, he was recently awarded the US title back after Rey Mysterio vacated it due to injury. His first defense on pay-per-view since getting it back is against Ricochet. Vicky, Joe versus Ricochet. What do you reckon?
I really want to say Ricochet for this one. I kind of agree with Los Luchas because Ricochet has just been on fire lately. He's really been doing well. I love the guy as a wrestler. Joe, well, you guys know how I feel about Joe. But you know, Joe is a good champion. He's a tough guy to beat, and he's all work, no play. And so this is another tough one for me, but I'm going to say Ricochet because I really want him to win.
Okay. Ricochet says Victoria. Okay. Rach Kappa, it's the US title. What do you reckon to this one?
Well, this was the matches that I'm looking forward to watching. Ricochet's been on fire since he came to the main roster. So I think he's going to do it. I think Ricochet's going to win.
Right. Oh, we've got 2 for Ricochet now. Is Jason going to make it 3? I know, Jace, you are a Samoa Joe fanboy.
Oh, yeah.
And he's not been that long since he got the US title back. So let's hear your thoughts on this match.
Oh, crikey. I really don't know on this one. It's difficult. The thing is, Joe, I don't feel that all the time Joe's been in WWE, he's really been allowed to be himself, not the Joe that most people got to know when he was in TNA. So, with that in mind, are they going to let him go all out against Ricochet? If they're not, then I think this is Ricochet's to win. I think I'm going to play it safe and go for Ricochet myself.
Oh, right, okay. 3 for Ricochet, so we're all expecting a new US champion tomorrow night. Well, I say we all. I've not made my prediction yet. This match should be a good match. There again, nothing seems to be of, really big consequence in this show, and that's mainly the fault of really just crappy booking in WWE for a long time now. I really like Ricochet. He was fantastic in NXT. I enjoyed his tag team with Aleister Black when they won the Dusty Cup, and then they were tagging on Raw and SmackDown a little bit as well. Seems a bit of a shame that they had to break them up, even though I get it because they're both better single stars, but they also made a really good tag team. So I would have just liked to see a bit more mileage out of Black and Ricochet personally. But I'm going to go against the grain here. I don't think Ricochet is going to win the title tomorrow. I think it'll pop the crowd if there's going to be a crowd there, because it sounds like ticket sales are in the toilet for tomorrow. But who are there? I think it would pop the crowd if Ricochet won this, but it just doesn't seem 5 minutes since Joe was given the title back. Really, probably shouldn't have even lost it to Mysterio. Knowing Mysterio's physical condition these last few years, really. But I'm gonna go against the grain here. I'm gonna say Samoa Joe to retain the US title.
Fair play.
No, Vicky. Sorry, Rach. I will get your names right, and you both sat next to each other on my screen as well. So I'm kind of That's my excuse. Anyway, Rach, you're the one with the matches written down. So Rach, what's the next match?
The next match I've got written down is the WWE Championship in a steel cage between Kofi Kingston versus Dolph Ziggler.
Right, yeah, Kingston versus Ziggler rematch from Super Showdown. This one's in a steel cage. Yeah, I just thought of like an opinion on this, but I'll save it until it's my turn. Vicky, the WWE title match is in a cage. It's Kingston defending against Dolph Ziggler again. What do you reckon?
Like they're both really good. Like I said on the last one, I think Kofi should keep the title. I really do. I mean, they're both good. They've both had a good history against each other. It's not like they haven't fought each other 1,000 times before. So they know all their tricks and all their ins and outs and everything else. So, I'm gonna say Kofi. I think he's gonna keep it.
Okay. Yep. Kofi Kingston says the Night Owl. What about Rach Kappa? What do you reckon to this one?
I don't even know why Dolph jumped all over the queue to get this title shot against Kofi. As it's in a steel cage, I don't know. I think the New Day will be a factor in this. I think they will get involved at some point, but I think Kofi's going to retain.
Okay, another one for Kofi Kingston. Jason, Kofi or Dolph? Who do you fancy in the WWE steel cage match?
I think I'll explain why in a minute. I think I'm going to have to go for Kofi on this because I think if they're going to take the title off of him, it's going to be at a bigger pay-per-view. Something like Extreme Rules would make more sense if they're going to do it. Now, this could be at Dolph. This is what they could be building up to. They have the steel cage match, and then the next pay-per-view, they go, I don't know, a ladder match or something like that. You know, they go something a bit more than they were doing before.
Yeah.
Maybe even I don't know, Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'm going to go for Kofi mainly for that reason. Will Dolph win it eventually? Who's to say? It depends on how serious this comeback of his is, because he sort of flits about, doesn't he? He sticks around for a bit, and then he disappears again, and then he comes back again.
Yeah, he's kind of torn between his career of comedy and wrestling.
Yeah, but I think they're going to go with everyone else and say Kofi for now.
Okay, 3 for Kofi Kingston. Steel cage match. I totally agree with you, Rach, that Dolph Ziggler just jumped like a really long queue of supposed contenders to the WWE title. Given that we've not seen him since the Royal Rumble or whatever it was, and then all of a sudden, he's the number one contender for the supposedly most prestigious championship in all of sports entertainment, the WWE title, and he's got a rematch. I kind of got over Dolph Ziggler quite some time ago, really. Not just through his own maybe indifference, because I understand why a lot of people are indifferent in WWE, because they're often given they're given a shit sandwich to eat, really, when it comes to booking. But yeah, that is, it all ties into this problem of, people don't seem motivated. I don't think Dolph, his motivation's been there for quite some time, and I can't say I blame him. It did look like he was on the cusp of being in that upper echelon permanently a few years ago, and it just never really quite happened for him.
Yeah.
He's not going to win the WWE title, at least not at Stomping Ground. I mean, I'm saying that like it's a stone cold fact, and if I get proven wrong tomorrow, then so be it. But I'm going to say it's going to be Kofi Kingston to retain. And also, it's a bit weird that this is steel cage match, because I thought, because Extreme Rules is next month and they have all these sort of gimmick matches in there, that'd be a good match to save for that. But as Jason says, if they're going to spit it out to third pay-per-view, then it could end up being a ladder match or, something like that. I don't know, Falls Count Anywhere. There's a lot still to choose from for Extreme Rules. Or it could end up being just a standard one-on-one match like it was at Super Showdown. But yeah, I think Kofi's going to hold the title probably till SummerSlam. I don't see him holding it beyond SummerSlam. So I'll be interested to see who his challenger, assuming he's still got it after Extreme Rules, will be. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, I think we've all gone for Kofi Kingston here. So there we are. Either we're all right or we're all wrong. Rachel, the next Stomping Grounds match, please.
The next one I've got written down is the WWE Universal Championship between Seth Rollins and versus Baron Corbin with
oh god,
supposedly special guest referee.
Yeah, God, you just reminded me that this meant to be a special guest referee. We're not going to do an official prediction about who the referee is. We just predict like the actual match results, but we can talk about who we think the guest referee may be. And we'll start with Vicky, the Universal title match, Victoria. It's another rematch from Super Showdown. Boring Baron Corbin challenging against Seth Rollins for the big red belt.
Well, I think they should have left Baron Corbin as a executive. He sucks as a wrestler. I do love his entrance music, however, so he's got wicked awesome entrance music. I don't like him as a wrestler. I really don't. He's lost his touch, when he had the long hair and he come out and he wrestled and he laughed and it was like the lone wolf. It was awesome. But he's kind of lost that now, and since he was like he was injured and everything else. Now, you guys know how I feel about Seth. He's awesome. He's there every day, everything else, even though he went and started dating Becky. Anyways, but I'm going to say Seth for this one. Just basically because I think he's a better wrestler. Special guest referee, I think it's going to be maybe Kane.
Kane? Oh, right. Okay. So Rollins to retain is what. Sorry, I instantly forgot your prediction there because I was just kind of excited by the prospect of Kane in a referee shirt there.
Yeah, it was Seth. Yeah.
Red and black stripes.
Seth to retain, says the Night Owl. Rach, Universal title match. What do you reckon?
Like with Dolph Ziggler, I don't know why Baron Corbin suddenly jumped the queue to become the number one contender. I think Seth's gonna win, but I think Baron Corbin's gonna do something to cheat. And as for the special guest referee, I hope it's not, but I've got a really bad feeling that it's gonna be Brock as the special guest referee. So I'm gonna say Seth wins by
to retain. And although it's not an official prediction, you think Brock Lesnar? He seems to be the likely candidate for the referee. Los Luchas asking what kind of match. It's I think it's standard 1-on-1, but like there's going to be a special guest referee. I mean, I suppose in a way, like it could be. It depend on who the referee is. It could be more likely that there'd be like a DQ if there's like a heel guest referee just trying to piss off Rollins. But yeah, Jason, this Universal title match is Corbin against Rollins with a guest referee to be determined. What do you think?
No. I'm really not sure. I mean, Corbin sucks. He really, pardon my French, but he sucks ass.
Yeah.
Right, I think I agree with what was it Vicky said about Corbin. He used to be all right, and then he just suddenly lost it. It's like Samson. He had his hair cut off, and he's just like shit now.
Yeah, but he was losing his hair anyway. I mean,
yeah, I know that, but at least he had a sort of a style in that. He's not just some bloke in a waistcoat and trousers or whatever, And his promo's a complete arse as well. Oh, crikey! I'm going to go with Steph. Right. Again, this is because of the nature of the pay-per-view. Again, not much consequence. Bloody blah. I don't know why Vince is so big on Corbin. I really don't. I don't get it.
No.
And as for referee, I'm going to sort of go along the lines of what Rach was saying, but I think it's going to be Paul Heyman.
Oh,
interesting call there.
Yeah. Just because he can do whatever he wants to ensure that Brock can cash in his Money in the Bank contract.
Okay, Los Luchas is going. Thank you for joining us, Los Luchas. Really appreciate that.
Thank
you so much. So yeah, Universal title match with an unknown referee. I mean, I'm worried about sort of the Shane McMahon factor in this. Like whether I know he's more aligned with Drew McIntyre these days. And I know we've got to get on to Shane McMahon in a little bit again, sadly. But I'm wondering if he may have some sort of interference in him and Drew, possibly. I know Drew and Baron Corbin have kind of been aligned on and off over the months. And then with that sort of kind of unofficial faction with Bobby Lashley. God. It's a tricky one, this. I mean, the sensible answer is Seth will retain, even. Thank you, Chase.
Sorry.
Even if it's like he might lose via DQ or win via DQ, depending on what the referee does. Because I really don't give a shit about this pay-per-view, I think I'm going to be really wild and say I think Baron Corbin's going to become the new Universal Champion. I think a title needs to change hands tomorrow to make this pay-per-view anything more than utterly pointless. And why not the Universal title? Baron Corbin, can't stand him. I think Jason and Vicky have been a little bit too kind on how he used to be. The Lone Wolf character was fine. Just a shame he had it, because I think he's always been the absolute shits. I don't think he may having his hair cut and starting to dress like a slightly underweight snooker player. Or something. I mean, that's one of the worst things about his current character. He comes out for his matches in wrestling gear, and he kind of looks to me like someone who's kind of a minor guest at someone's family wedding. Like, he got invited because his neighbour's cousin's dog's brother.
Exactly.
Baron Corbin's here. Yeah, if there's any cake left over, you can have a slice. But he's not important. He's not an important guest. He just looks like he's dressed for like a minor wedding or something to me.
Yeah.
Or just some sort of amateur snooker match.
Yeah, I did like a snooker player analogy.
But that being said, he could be the next Universal Champion, and I'm going to say that he will be the next Universal Champion. As for the referee, I don't know. Brock Lesnar Although, will they pay him $500,000 to come
Exactly.
out to the ground? I don't really. I'm not going to make a prediction on the referee because I don't need to. I'll just see how that plays out. But it wouldn't surprise me if it's Brock or Paul Heyman.
I'll put Ivan Trop then.
And if it is Brock, then I mean, would he cash in at somewhere really crap and inconsequential like Stomping Grounds? Possibly. I mean, he won the title at Crown Jewel last year, and less said about that, the better. But I'm going to say, even if he may get cashed in on by Lesnar straight afterwards, possibly, I'm going to say Baron Corbin. I'm just going to be different and just go against the grain here. Yeah, so your next Universal Champion is boring Baron Corbin.
I'll be snoring.
How many matches have we got left now, Rach?
3.
We still got 3. I can only think of one, the dreaded one.
We've got the Raw Women's Championship.
Oh God! Yeah, sorry, I feel really
Championship.
I feel really sexist now because it's the women's one. My mind. Sorry, yeah, this is Stomping Grounds. It's just I've just got no enthusiasm for it. I do apologise, but yeah, Rach, what's the next one that you want us to talk about?
The next one is WWE Raw Women's Championship between Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans.
Yeah, Lynch versus Evans, Raw Women's title again. The trouble with all these matches, a lot of them are rematches from the last couple of pay-per-views. It's like there's nothing new seems to be happening, apart from the exception of stuff that's going to be on the undercard or mid-card anyway, like Joe versus Ricochet and the tag team title match. Vicky, Lynch versus Lacey Evans for the Raw title. What do you think?
Honestly, I think it's going to be Lacey. I'm making a quick prediction saying that just because of the fact that Lacey is one tough girl. I know Becky's not going to put up with her crap either, but she looks like a really tough woman, and I would not put it past her to take Becky down.
Yeah, well, they continue in the feud, so and I get the feeling that management in WWE, you're quite high up on Lacey Evans. She's got that kind of tall blonde look that a certain VKM probably goes for.
Yeah.
Rach, the Raw Women's title, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Lacey might win this. Because they're building her up, so I think she's gonna take the title from Becky.
Okay. 2 for Lacey Evans. It looks like we may be seeing a new Raw Women's champion, at least in according to the Night Owl and Rach Kappa. Is Not Suitable for Mum going to make it 3 for Lacey Evans? Let's find out.
It's our time. How long has she been in the main roster now? How many matches she had? Not many.
Well, she'd sort of debuted around, I think it might have been around the Royal Rumble time. If you remember, like, she was having no matches for months, and then she was just walking out and then walking back again, which was bizarre.
Yeah.
So really, on the main roster, wrestling-wise, I think she's only really been competing since, WrestleMania, even maybe a bit later.
She's as good as a heel because she's piss annoying.
Yeah.
Isn't she? But I think she's supposed to be. That's the thing. She's not. It's not like Corbin, who's just annoying because he's annoying. Right? She's embraced the character. Her voice winds the crap out of me. It really does, though. Just like Becky was saying, she's speaking in slow motion.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. Head says Becky, and again, are they going to have any titles change hands?
Well, that's it. I mean, on one hand, you think no, because it's such a crappy pay-per-view that they can't really put anything too earth-shattering on it. But on the other hand, you could say this pay-per-view will need a lift on the night, and what would pop the crowd more than some sort of title change.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oh man, it's really difficult. Logic would say Becky would retain, but as you say, this pay-per-view needs something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so I go for Lacey.
Wow.
Yeah.
3 for Lacey Evans. Well, okay. Blimey. It's another rematch. It's these programs, these feuds. Just a lot of them have been sort of drawn out. Some probably more worthy of that than others. This one, I don't mind quite so much, although I've not really got a lot of interest in it. But then that's just how I feel about WWE in general at the moment. Hello, Pages, Films and Plastics. He's saying hello to everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you. Much appreciated. Hope you're having a good weekend. Becky versus Lacey Evans. I'm going to go against the grain again here. I'm going to say Becky's going to retain. Becky is, it was such a good build up for her to WrestleMania. The one bad thing, everyone was excited when it was announced the women were going to main event WrestleMania, but we were forgetting at the time that WrestleMania lasted fucking 77 hours, and by that time, if you get to the main event, it's like everyone's just like, there was no heat for that match, like there should have been, and that's one of the reasons why I think WrestleMania needs to be now split over 2 days. But anyway, that's a different topic. We can talk about that. Maybe we'll probably talk about that next year before WrestleMania 36. But I'm sure we'll talk about it before then anyway. I'm going to go with Becky to retain just because I think she's someone else like Kofi. I think she should be holding her title till at least SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's what I hope happens, but...
Yeah, I mean, I'm going with like my head, more my heart than my head, because I do see where people are coming from regarding Lacey Evans. I can certainly see her as a future Raw Women's Champion. So, and it could happen tomorrow, but I'm just gonna, it's a bit of a coin toss one for me, but I'm gonna go against you three, which may end up being to my detriment when it comes to because it's all, sometimes it feels safer to go with the consensus, go with the majority.
Yeah.
I'm like I did with Baron Corbin. I'm going to stand on my own here and say Becky Lynch to retain the women's title on Raw. Rach, we've got 2 matches left. What's the next one that you want to talk about?
The next match is Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, and this will no doubt have some shenanigans from a certain Shane McMahon in it. Vicky, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. It's yet another rematch in it from this one from.
Kind of.
Well, yeah. From WrestleMania, yeah. So yeah, of course it is. Yeah, it's a WrestleMania rematch.
WrestleMania. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was Money in the Bank for a minute, but then I realised Drew McIntyre was actually in the Money in the Bank match, and Roman Reigns faced Elias, I think, at Money in that, something like that. Anyway, yeah. So, a WrestleMania rematch we've got here tomorrow night at Stomping Grounds. Vicky, what do you think?
This is a tough one. It really is. They're both amazing. With the way the storyline's been going with the two of them, though, like... I look back at Drew when he was back in the 3-man band, with Heath and whatever his name is. Anyways, but he's really, I like the way they're turning this character. I like the way that he's been wrestling. He's like put himself out there by himself. He's broke away from Dolph Ziggler as well, which I think was a really good move for him. Roman Reigns is now on his own. He doesn't have Seth there to rescue him all the time either. So on really, as much as I love Roman, I'm going for Drew.
Drew McIntyre to win.
I'm going to say too, though, Shane may get involved. I do agree with you there.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel it's just become a regular feature of this stream now for me just to sit here and just whinge about Shane McMahon. But it's not my fault, to quote Gene Snitsky. It's like, he seems to be the most pushed person on WWE programming for months now. And it's just utterly ridiculous. And this is why AEW is getting all this momentum. And WWE, you're hearing reports nearly every day now about talent being unhappy, talent not wanting to sign new contracts. Sorry, now I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, and I haven't forgotten that you're about to make your prediction, Rach. But I just wanted to, get that out of there. Right, Rach, Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre.
I hope Roman puts Shane through a table. Yeah, I think these two have been good recently, but I'm gonna go with Roman.
Okay.
I think Roman's gonna win.
Roman Reigns to win. So we've got one for Drew, one for Roman at the moment. Who is Jason going to go for in this match? I don't know if this is going to be. It's difficult to pick a main event for this. This is what I'm saying. It's like none of the matches are like involving enough for the fan to even think, oh well, that'll be a half decent main event. Really, the main event could be almost anything really, apart from the obvious undercard matches. But yeah, Jason, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre.
Well, they've been sort of teasing Drew as to be finally what he was when he first came in, as being the chosen one, if people remember that. Right, even though that was a bit of a crappy idea.
Yeah,
but Drew is good. He was great as Drew Galloway. Brilliant as Drew Galloway. Very deserving champion in there. Showing he can carry a title when he can carry it well. I think it's time to really elevate him to that next stage. And what a better way to do that than beating one of the top, if you like, big guys in WWE. He gets the win over, Shane gets involved, right? Which fits in fine with the heel gimmick and all the rest of it that he's got going on. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But yeah, I think Drew will win one way or other, clean or not. Who knows?
Drew. So we've got two for Drew, one for Roman. Shane McMahon's going to be involved in this somehow again, and I'm sure all of you have seen the rumor that's doing the rounds that Shane McMahon is in line for a future world title run. I mean, obviously with it being a rumor and it just being, nothing set in stone until it happens, really. But even the fact that WWE is supposedly considering this is, especially at a time like this where all elite wrestling are gaining such momentum. I mean, we were only talking about it a little bit before we went live. All Out, the next pay-per-view for AEW in August. I mean, that's sold out within 20 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And apparently, I don't know how accurate this is, but there was about over 80,000 people queuing to get tickets online for that. If you think about that, for a new company, and it's only their third pay-per-view. You think how crazy that is, that theoretically the amount of people who wanted All Out tickets, AEW could have filled a WrestleMania sized stadium. That's crazy, and a good crazy. And on the flip side, back at Titan Towers, we've got Vince McMahon trying to get one of his last remaining boners out of life before he bites the bullet and drops off his perch. Oh, I know what'll be good. Let's put the world title on Shane, my son Shane, because I'm too old to do it now. I mean, come on, for fuck's sake, if that if it never happens, good. If it does happen, then you know, screw you, WWE, because you're just taking the piss now. And it's a big fucking utter joke that we're even talking about having Shane McMahon, a guy who I think he breaks out into a sweat if he opens a packet of crisps nowadays. You know, at least he's not wrestling on the show, but he's going to be a big part of the show tomorrow because he's aligned with Drew. And I really like Drew. I've given Drew McIntyre a lot of props on these streams before. I nearly picked him for the Royal Rumble. Glad I didn't because it was a bit early for him. I did pick him for the Money in the Bank match, which but none of us expected Brock Lesnar just to insert himself. You know, for rightly or wrongly. If they're going to stretch this one out, which I think they would do, possibly, they might even end up having some sort of handicap situation, maybe at Extreme Rules, where it's McIntyre and Shane versus Roman. Then, just for the fact I don't think this feud's quite dead yet, I will say I think Drew McIntyre will win tomorrow night at Stomping Ground.
I'm just looking at what Pages, Films and Plastics saying. Correct me if I'm wrong, buddies. About what?
Yeah. I was just about to ask that. Pages, Films and Plastics. What is it that you want to say? Yeah, please, by all means, put whatever you'd like in the chat, and we will. I do try and keep my eye on the chat wherever possible. So, you know, if you've got anything to ask or anything to say, please do. And yeah, just don't worry about Jason. He was just born that way. So there we are.
I love you too, buddy.
No, that when Jason was born, the doctor held him up and slapped his mother. Anyway, I think we've only got one match left to go now. And Rach, sorry, yes, bloody hell, I'll get your names right at some point.
Can I just add?
Yeah.
Right, just what you were saying about Extreme Rules. You know Shane's going to be Extreme Rules. He's going to be in a match in Extreme Rules, and you know why? Because he's a spot monkey.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's that. Sorry, I just thought I'd say that.
No. It's a good point. Very good point. I guess you know he's conserving his energy till next month for Extreme Rules. So yeah, our last match, Rach. I know what it is, but please read it for us.
The last match is the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship between Bayley and Miss Bliss. I'm going to call her Miss Bliss in case
Yeah, so Miss Bliss, she who shall not be named, like that guy out of Harry Potter, that fella with the funny face, versus fairly recent SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley. Vicky, what do you think to this match?
You know what? Like, I like Bayley. I do like her. Like, she's a good wrestler. She's a good character and stuff. I think she's turning a little bit heel slowly. And I think I'm going to say Bliss for this one because I think it might do Bayley good to get a little harder and to have it taken away to see her turn a little tougher. You know, I like the hugger and everything else. I do like that, but I think she needs to turn a little tougher, and I think this is going to do it. So I'm going to say Bliss.
Bliss to become SmackDown Women's Champion again. She's, I know she held the SmackDown one at least once, possibly twice, and she seemed to hold the Raw Women's title when she got moved over to Raw a handful of times as well. Hello, Craig. Thank you for coming in, mate. Nice to see you. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Rach Kappa, the SmackDown Women's Championship. What do you think to this one?
I haven't been really following this storyline. I know there was a bit of a set to on the Moment of Bliss. And you can guarantee that Nikki Cross is going to get involved somehow during this match. Yeah. I think Bayley's going to retain, but by DQ, because I think Nikki Cross is going to get involved somehow.
Right. So you're going to say But now then, would it be a Bailey win via DQ? Is that you're saying Bailey to win, not Bliss to win?
No.
Right, I see. Right. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So basically, you're picking Bailey, but you go into a bit more detail about the finish. That's fair enough. So one for Bliss, one for Bailey. Jason, what do you think to this one?
Right. Can I ask, what is the situation with Miss Bliss's general health and everything? Because I know she got injured a while back, and she was off, wasn't she, for ages? And she does sort of wrestle, but she doesn't seem to do an awful lot.
No, she's been more sort of like someone coming out for interviews and like maybe an occasional battle royal appearance and things like that. I take the fact that she's got a fairly prominent title match on pay-per-view now as a good sign that she's kind of ready to be back in a full-time in-ring schedule. That's what I'm assuming by it. I mean, it could be that she loses and then like we don't see her in the ring again for months. I don't know, but I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt and think that Miss Bliss, I nearly said it, is back as kind of a full-time competitor now. I would have thought. So,
right.
Yeah,
okay. Because that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I guess it does. Yeah.
Okay. And then there's the whole bit with Nikki. And I'm sorry, but they've boosted up Nikki's character. She's better when she was like the slightly deranged, messed up. Now she's just like some little kid.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Curse of NXT, mate. Curse of NXT.
Yeah.
You get brought up from NXT and you've got that 70-odd-year-old nutcase just tinkering with your character, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like, leave it alone, you muppet.
Exactly.
Okay, so. Oh, man. Again, Bailey's not held the title for very long, though, has she?
No.
And they're trying to do something with her. I'll tell you what. No, right. This is what's going to happen. I reckon. I think Bliss is going to win, but she's not going to get the title.
Right. So, are you saying like a DQ win for Bliss? Right.
I think Bailey's going to lose it, and she's going to go nutso on Bliss.
It ties into what Vicky's saying that they seem to be pushing for a little bit of a harder edge for Bailey.
She's gradually been going that way, hasn't she?
Yeah, I think. I think so.
Even a ring attire, she's gone for the less pink, more blacks now.
Yeah.
So I think so. I think that's. I don't think Bliss is going to win the title, but she'll win the match.
Yeah. So, like I say, we can't really sort of specify in the results like whether people have.
Well, I'm going to go for Bliss.
We have to pick a name as a winner. But Bliss. you and Rach have both think there's going to be DQ finishes, but with different outcomes. Okay, interesting. Let me just have a look at what Craig Bell's saying. You think Bailey may retain too, but in the long run, you think this whole Bliss cross storyline is a repeat of Nia Jax? The Bliss story of Mickie James and Trish Stratus. Yeah. Good storyline back in the day. That was Mickie and Trish. Right. Yes. Vicky made excellent points about Bailey. I think they're playing kind of a very slow building heel turn for her, or at the very least adding some edge to her character, which I think on the main roster she needs. I thought, even though when I first saw Bailey in NXT, I thought, oh, she's just too white meat. She's just too happy. I don't know if I like it, but I got it. But it didn't take me long to get it. You know what I mean? It suited NXT. There was that little girl who was that Bailey super fan in the front row who was hugging her, and it was nice for NXT. It suited that brand and it suited the Bailey's situation at the time. ever since Bayley's got to the main roster, yeah, she's had a couple of titles. She has been women's champion on Raw for a little bit. I don't think that was a particularly long reign, and that feels at least a couple of years ago now. And the women's tag team title run, it was nice to see her and Sasha become champions, but they apparently weren't very pleased when they found out on the day that they were losing to the Iconics at WrestleMania. So, yeah, and I know Sasha Banks has been AWOL since then. Bayley, yeah, I think for Raw or SmackDown being where Bayley is at the moment, she needs that kind of sort of hardened edge and a slightly darker character, maybe if not an outright heel, which would be interesting to see because I've never seen Bayley play heel before. But as kind of like an anti-hero, I guess kind of how Becky Lynch might, maybe not so much now, but how she was considered to be for a lot of last year and a bit of this year. So I like Bayley. Like I say, it took me a couple of weeks to sort of get used to what they were doing with her in NXT, but since then I've thought she was great. She's been in some brilliant matches with people like Sasha and Charlotte, and I would like to see her have become a really prominent champion on the main roster. Bliss, though, we know she's held a few titles before. She's obviously got support from in management. I'm assuming she's back properly now because she's in a one-on-one match. So, but I don't know. I don't think she's going to win the title. I think I'm going to say I'm not going to go down the whole will it be DQ route. Just because I don't want to complicate it in my own head more than anything. But I'm going to say Bayley to retain. I think I'm going to say Bayley to still be SmackDown Women's Champion after Stomping Ground.
Excellent.
So just before we wrap things up, just going to have a look at what Craig's saying. The Boss and Hug connection helped with the potential change of Bayley. Yeah, yes, I think, if they can sort of bring some of this, and it's quite, realism into it, where Bayley is kind of projecting her and Sasha's dissatisfaction with their WWE careers and pushes, then that'd be, I'm not saying that'll happen because that'd actually mean, WWE doing some decent booking for once. But it would be a good thing to do that, Craig. So I completely agree with what you're saying there. So Rach, that is all the matches. Then So there we are. We have previewed Stomping Grounds. It's a shit name. The pay-per-view. Hopefully. I don't want to be negative all the time. Hopefully, if I wake up on Monday morning and watch this and there's some great matches, great moments, then I'll be very pleased. I'll be like, well, even though it didn't look much on paper, it ended up being a great card. That'd be great. I'm not hopeful on that. But if that's what happens, then fantastic. And if anyone is watching it live or doing as what I think I'm going to be doing and watching it on demand the following day, then I do hope you enjoy it. I want to thank my panelists, as always. I want to thank Vicky the Night Owl. Thank you, Vicky, for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun, as always. I love coming.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Rach. Thank you for writing the matches down and for just your contributions, as always. Always much appreciated.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. You're always welcome. And Jason, as always, thank you for sorting out the predictions, even though I'm a little bit suspect of them now. But
well, this time I've made absolutely certain.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, Jace. It's always appreciated.
Thank you for having me again. I know, always good fun, always a laugh.
No problem. Our next live show will be, I think, in 3 weeks' time. It's July the 14th when it's Extreme Rules. So we should be, I think, we've not really discussed it yet, but we should be doing the preview show on Saturday night again. Same time, 8 o'clock UK time, which will be 3 o'clock in the afternoon Vicky's time, Eastern US Canadian time. So hopefully we'll see people there on the 13th of July. And Extreme Rules is usually a pretty interesting pay-per-view. So hopefully we'll be a lot more excited for that than we were for this one and for the showdown.
I think opening a paper bag would be more interesting than this, but there you are.
Yeah, those of you who are watching it live, enjoy it. Those of you who are watching it on demand, enjoy it. Let's hope it's a better pay-per-view than what it looks on paper. And I guess all that remains for me to say is thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone who came in the live chat. And we'll see you in 3 weeks' time for the Extreme Rules preview. Cheers, everyone. See ya.